Yo, what's up, family? Today, we're gonna be watching Evil Girlfriend realizes cops found her disturbing secret, bro. It's a video about the finest, and yeah, let's check it out, bro.
Like I said before, they're taking care of him. They're doing what they gotta do with him, alright?
Tyler's not alive?
Oh yeah, nah, she already on some bullshit, bro. You can cut the crocodile tears out immediately, bro. Yuck.
No.
This is the moment Brittany Holbrook learns her boyfriend is dead. But what she doesn't realize is that within hours, investigators will start picking apart her story piece by piece.
I'm not a murderer. I would never kill him. I love him so much.
Nah, she bullshitting. You could just tell by her voice tone, bro. Like, yuck, dude.
I heard a scream.
You heard a scream?
I didn't see it. I don't know what happened, but I heard him say that bitch shot me in the back.
Ooh.
In the early hours of June 17th, 2023, at around 3 a.m., deputies from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office respond to a disturbing 911 call made by 44-year-old Jordan Kinn to report a shooting at his house in Big Coppitt Key, Florida. As the officer arrived at the scene, nothing could have prepared her for what was waiting for her behind the door.
The sheriff's office.
I'm still trying to print it out.
In front of her lay 29-year-old Tyler Newlich, bleeding out on the kitchen floor, struggling for his life. Beside him sat his hysterical girlfriend, Brittany, trembling as she pressed her hands over his wound, desperate to keep him alive. He had been shot, and from the location of the wound, officers quickly realized that this wasn't self-inflicted. This was attempted murder. Inside the house, there were no signs of forced entry. Even the dogs were calm. To detectives, that detail said more than any broken lock ever could.
Oh yeah, you're cooked, bro. No signs of entry and none of that. How you gonna explain this, bro? How you gonna explain this, sis?
Whoever did this wasn't a stranger. They were someone Tyler trusted. But who could commit such a harrowing act against someone they knew? A search of the scene revealed one of the case's most critical pieces of evidence: the firearm used to shoot Tyler.
Okay, I'm sorry, bro, but I just gotta say, how many donuts did it take for you to get like that, bro? I'm sorry. Why am I roasting people? I'm so sorry, sir. Thank you for serving our country, sir. You're not in the military, you're a police officer. Thank you for being a policing, bro.
That's why I haven't checked yet. I was waiting to make sure somebody else was here first. Now it's not. Yeah, there is one missing from the magazine.
This missing bullet and the firearm made the officers realize that this was a planned shooting, the one carried out with intent, not impulse. But the motive behind this brutal shooting will turn out to be far darker than anything they find at the scene. For now, their priority was keeping Tyler alive. If he didn't make it, the case would shift from an assault to a homicide. As paramedics worked to stabilize him for transport, another deputy stepped outside to speak with the original 911 caller, Tyler's roommate, Jordan, who walked the officer through the night, explaining how he'd rushed over after hearing Brittany scream.
It's probably like 3 minutes before I called 911. I heard a scream and her walking down the hallway and say Jordan, my name. And they got up out of bed. I had been asleep maybe 2 hours, but knew something was wrong. I came out in the living room and saw Tyler was incoherent, bleeding from somewhere in his back.
Okay.
I don't know from what or whatnot, but I know if it was gun, I would have heard it. Like, I don't know what exactly how it happened.
Who owns that gun?
Okay, he said he was bleeding from somewhere in his back, and we clearly heard that he got shot in the chest. So already I can feel like this guy's bullshitting. He probably trying to cover for her for some reason. Maybe he trying to get that poutang after, you know, her boyfriend got lit up. Maybe he trying to hit next. I don't know, but that's my guess.
I don't one of those. I'm pretty sure Tyler.
You pretty sure he does?
Yes. I know he usually always has. I had the TV on quite quietly and half asleep, but I think I would have heard something unusual.
Yeah.
I'm the fisherman and live on a boat half the year. Not used to weird noises.
Okay, that's kind of fire, bro. A fisherman? How much is that paid, bro? How do you even get paid? How do, like, you commission the pay, bro? I'm just curious. I never, like, thought about fishermen as, like, a job kind of, you know, it's a little interesting. Out in the seas. I feel like I'd have, like, a ton of anxiety, though, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just something about the open seas that, you know, it's a little... Nah, I'm cool, bro.
Since he arrived after the gunshot was fired, officers turned their attention to Brittany, the only person who had been there before him. They needed to know if she'd seen anything that could help them understand what really happened that night.
You don't know?
I went to sleep. I don't know.
Oh, fuck no. Yeah, she got that little whiny voice, bro. Nah, cut that out. She got that, like, whiny valley girl voice. Like, bro, if you don't go somewhere, bro, just cuff her up immediately just for having that voice, bro. Yuck.
Why don't you go take a seat over there?
Like Papa?
I went to sleep.
You went to sleep?
Oh my
Okay, and then you woke up?
I woke up to death.
Okay, and what did you see? This? Just him laying on the floor? Waiting? Okay.
Clearly distressed, Brittany struggled to recall what had happened that night. But something about her behavior gave the officer an uneasy feeling, as if she was holding something back. Before the officer could press her further, a call came in from the hospital. Tyler had succumbed to his injuries.
Oh yeah, GG's, bro. You going to jail for a long time. 25 years to life. No possibility of parole.
From that moment, the case shifts. What began as an assault is now a cold-blooded murder investigation. With only 2 people present at the scene, Brittany and Jordan both became prime suspects. Without wasting another second, detectives began their interrogation.
Hold on real quick. Why does bro have his dogs out over here, bro? Like, yuck, dude. Put on some shoes, you bum. Why am I roasting people? Relax. Damn.
With Jordan, unaware that Tyler had already left behind the clue that would solve his case. After reading him his rights, detectives began questioning Jordan about the day of this heinous crime.
So when you got home last night, were they downstairs already?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And they were already drinking?
She was, he wasn't.
How was the mood when you
Great.
walked home?
It was great. Everybody was getting along fine. I felt like it was a normal good night, you know?
And you were downstairs drinking until what time about?
I'd say around 10:30ish was my guess. And I went and watched a couple episodes of TV, and I was pretty well asleep when I heard her screaming, and she's the one who woke me up.
It's only after Jordan goes to bed that the sound of Brittany's scream pulls him from his room. And it's then that Tyler tells him what really happened.
I saw a pistol. I don't even know what happened. I just saw a lot of them. But I did see a gun sitting there in the holster, which I'm pretty sure was hers. I never heard the shot. If that's what happened, I didn't get woken up by that. I got woken up by her yelling.
Notice how he didn't say anything about a gun before, bro, but now he's bringing up the gun, bro. Now that he's a prime suspect, bro. He was trying to protect her so he could hit after homie kicked the bucket. People like, let me stop. I'm just making assumptions, and you know what they say about assumptions, bro. They make an ass out of you and me. Continue.
I like tried to look at him in the face, and like that's when I called 911. Like I didn't know what happened to him. The little bit I got out of him, like I didn't see it. I don't know what happened, but I heard him say that bitch shot me in the back.
Oh, now he's saying that bitch shot me in the back. Now he's saying that. He didn't say that last time.
Mumbled it.
Moreover, Jordan recalls a fight between Brittany and Tyler, one that turned unusually aggressive, ending with phones being slammed against the walls. He quickly assures detectives that it only happened once and it wasn't anything serious. After finishing the interview, detectives rule him out as a suspect. His timeline checks out, and there's no sign of a motive to harm Tyler.
Yeah, no. He ain't shoot him. He ain't shoot him. She shot him. He just kind of trying to move in on that. By the way, hydrate, bros. Hydrate is really important, bro.
Still, his account leaves them with one clear direction. They start with the only other person inside that house when Tyler was shot, his girlfriend, Brittany Holbrook. As detectives sit down to question her, they have no idea that by the end of it, they'll uncover a truth far darker than anyone imagined.
Sorry, I have to play this, but I was asking like this. That's why we're all here. Okay?
Tyler's not alive?
How long have you known him?
Bro, you see how she looks, bro?
Tyler's not alive?
Bruh. And then you looking calm as hell. So unbothered, bro. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Man, I should be in charge so I could just be like, yeah, nah, you did it, bro. So many innocent people would be behind bars. Let me stop.
Where did you guys meet?
We were roommates.
Roommates? You guys met when you were roommates, or you're still roommates right now?
We met when we were roommates.
What do you do for work?
I manage a paddle hut, like paddleboard, kayak, rental location out of the capital.
As the conversation goes on, detectives ease into small talk.
Hold on, bro. Pause. Do you see that? You see the crazy in her eyes, bro? I know I'm not the only one spotting that, bro. Come on, dog. I'd lock her up just for that, bro. Don't look at me like that. Ew. Oh, bug-eyed. Oh my gosh, bro.
All part of building rapport before getting to what really matters. But soon, their questions shift toward the night of the shooting, hoping to see if her story lines up with Jordan's.
What time did you get home from work?
Let's see, I went to the grocery store and I went to Walgreens, maybe like 5:30.
When you got home, who else was home?
Tyler got home like about 5 minutes after I did.
Okay. You guys were all just hanging out upstairs?
So, Tyler and I, we got home, did that for a while upstairs.
Okay. And Jordan was hanging out with you guys too?
Eventually.
You guys hanging out? Were you guys drinking? How much you guys normally drink?
Not a lot actually.
That's kind of normal for you guys? How much do you think you drank last night?
A lot.
Like 5 or 6 beers, like 2 bottles of rum? I don't know, what's a lot?
A lot. Like, I don't know. I drank probably 4 seltzers, and then Tyler and Jordan went to the store and came back with beers, and so I can't tell you how many of those I had, really. I don't know, because they were kind of all on the table, and then I threw them all in the box,
So now I think she's trying to blame it on the alcohol, bro. It's not gonna help you, bro. You're still going to jail.
When you guys were drinking down here or upstairs in the living room? Or?
Yeah, we were drinking downstairs.
Okay.
Brittany continues walking the detective through her night. According to her, the three of them hung out until around midnight before she finally went to bed, with Tyler and Jordan following soon after.
What's the next thing that you remember?
Holding Tyler.
What?
Holding Tyler.
Holding Tyler? Where were you at?
In the kitchen.
Do you remember how you got to the kitchen? So you laid down in bed with you, Tyler, and the dogs, and then the next thing that you remember, you're in the kitchen. Okay. And where was?
That's some bullshit. How you forget a whole time segment from when you're in the bed all the way to he shot in the kitchen? Like, bro, just off that, I know you did it, bro. You sound guilty as hell, bro.
Tyler.
Lying down.
Lying down. Okay. Do you remember how he was laying?
I was holding him.
Where was he bleeding from? Okay. What was he saying?
Nothing.
Was he conscious? Do you see him still there?
The detective slowly steers the conversation toward Tyler's murder, pressing gently at first, trying to confirm his final words.
Did he mention anything?
Tyler?
Did he make any statements to anybody? Did you walk away from Tyler at any point before the police showed up? Or were you holding on to him the whole time?
But Brittany insists she didn't hear anything. Each denial only widens the gaps in her story, and the detective can tell she's holding something back. So he changes tactics, using a bit of psychological pressure, a small trick meant to unsettle her and see how she reacts.
Has there ever been any history of domestic violence between you guys?
Like I said, we've had our fights. But
Fights like arguing, yelling, and screaming back and forth?
I mean, that's the extent.
Are there any punches, pushes? No? Nothing physical?
Next, he brings up
Okay, so she said there was nothing physical. Let's remember that, bros. She said there was nothing physical. Let's see if she changed her story later, bro.
Jordan's statement, confronting Brittany directly to see if she'll finally break.
Jordan is saying that he remembers Tyler was on the ground, you were behind him, and Tyler made the statement, call 911, she just shot me. You remember that?
He did not say that, bro. He said that Tyler said this bitch just shot me. He ain't say that.
I heard him say that bitch shot me in the back.
If you gonna quote somebody, use their real words, bro.
Is there any reason why you might have said that? You think that's something that's possible?
But she doesn't. Instead, Brittany doubles down, insisting that she loved Tyler and that she could never hurt him.
Would you be willing to consent to us taking a swab of your hands?
I don't think so.
Oh, now she don't think so. She don't want to consent to the hand swab, bro? Yeah, you're guilty, bro. I take her in right now, bro. Put me in charge of this investigation. If you don't want to take a forensic hand swab, you know what I mean? Like, you're guilty to me. If you're absolutely innocent and you want to find, you know, your boyfriend's killer and all that, bro, why wouldn't you do that, bro? Because, like, you know, they're wasting time on you because you're innocent, right? So if you're so innocent, why would you not want them to find the actual killer quicker? This is a quicker way to find the actual killer to get some justice. But instead, you're like, nah, I don't want to. You want to know why? Because you're guilty, bro.
I have blood all over my hands. I don't know. I have Tyler's blood all over me.
The turning point comes when detectives ask Brittany for her fingerprints. The moment they bring it up, her demeanor changes. She looks anxious, deflects the question, and insists her prints will not show up because she has Tyler's blood on her. But to detectives, it sounds like fear of being caught. So they decide to leave her alone for a while, hoping the silence might do what their questions couldn't. And it does. When they come back, Brittany finally starts talking. Only this isn't the confession they were expecting. It's something darker, a twisted version of events that leaves the detectives with more questions than answers.
I have no idea. I don't know. I just know that I remember not being able to breathe, and he was like crushing my esophagus.
Alright, and where was he?
Okay, so you remember how she said there was no acts of violence earlier, bro? You took note of that because she just changed the story now, bro. How much you want to bet? She's gonna try to make this a self-defense thing, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. I can't stand women like this. Like, they always want to act like the victim. Like, bro, you're the problem.
Like on his side of the bed, but like up. And I remember him screaming really loud. And he just kept doing it. He did it more than once, and like I tried to get away and go out the room, and he followed me and pinned me up against that wall.
Which wall is this?
In my bedroom.
As she talks, Brittany shifts the focus away from the shooting and starts talking about her past, mentioning how her father once choked her, a detail she uses to portray herself as the victim, someone who only acted out of fear and self-defense.
And dad did this to me when I was little, and I think it made me freak out a little bit, and probably I started swinging. I don't know, but he held me up by my throat.
You say held you up like off the ground?
Yeah, like.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't.
Bitch, what you think this is, a movie? He ain't hold you up off the ground with one arm. Like, for real, this Custer thinks she in an anime or something, bro. Let me let you in on a little secret, bro. That ain't how the real world works, bro. But I'm not surprised she came up with that story, bro. She looked like she chew on toothpaste and Captain Crunch for breakfast, bro.
I don't know why. We had everything.
I know you fucking lying, bitch.
How did you escape?
I don't know.
Okay. It seems like you're describing a relatively violent encounter there.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But all of a sudden, she's saying this when back then she wasn't saying that. You know what I mean? She didn't describe no kind of violent encounter. Now you want to change the story, bro. You tried to blame it on the alcohol. You're trying to make it a self-defense claim now, bro. Like, you're not gonna get like a lighter sentence because of this, bro.
Yeah.
Was there a fight at that point, or were you throwing punches and scratches? I mean, if someone's strangling me,
Yeah.
I'm fighting as hard as I can to get away from that, right?
Nah, this cop is the Sith Lord, bro. Ain't no way. He a snake, bro. He trying to feed into her like self-defense claim so she can feel more comfortable revealing the truth, bro. Okay, do your shit, officer.
I did because he pinned me up against the wall.
Okay.
It's my reaction. My dad did that to me when I was young, and it's fucking gave me PTSD. And I split his eyebrow. You know, like, just what are you gonna do? It was the same thing for me. It brought me back to my childhood, and I lost my mind.
Hydrate, y'all. I'm just checking on y'all again, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure I was swinging and scratching or whatever the fuck.
Still trying to fill the gaps in her story, detectives realize they have no choice but to make Brittany believe they're on her side. After all, besides Jordan, she's the only witness and the last person Tyler ever saw alive. So they play along, pretending to trust her version of events and use the moment to quietly turn up the pressure.
I mean, if you're at the point where you're fighting to survive, anything goes.
It was like nothing.
Anything goes. Like, you hear him, bro?
I didn't even have any arguments. I think he got up and used the restroom and then came back and then was like a different person. Because we were cuddling and really comfortable and going to bed and like loving each other like normal. And came back from the restroom and fucking I don't even know.
Nah, let me tell you what actually happened. She seemed like the crazy bat that would like get mad over him leaving like his underwear on the floor by accident, and that's why the argument started. And then she just went psycho on his ass and started attacking him. So he's like, hold on, man, like relax. You know, tried to like push her back, and that's her like little choking claim. And he just like pushed her back a bit after she started swinging on him and all that. And then she probably went ballistic. He probably tried to leave out. She stopped him in the kitchen and shot him. Let's see if it's true.
Said something and I was like, what? And he just snapped.
Well, at that point, it's perfectly understandable. If someone reaches over their nightstand and grabs that self-defense gun that they have.
You hear him? Perfectly understandable. Like, okay, bro.
I don't know.
Oh, brother.
You gotta cut them tears out, bro. Sick of them crocodile tears, bro. Fake ass whining, bro.
I'm trying to put together what happened so we can get a full story of how you got away from her. And that we can tell everybody else that this is not what she was planning on doing. She wasn't sitting there all night plotting this. If it's you versus him, if it was him versus me in that situation, I know what I'm doing. Especially if that gun is right there on the nightstand.
He said, I know what I'm doing. Alright, bro. Hey, real quick though, bros. I'll be back. I gotta take a pass and a shad. I'll be back, bros. Alright, I'm back, bros. I just left 2 scoops of ice cream in that toilet, bro. Stanky panky, bro. Yuck, dude. Continue.
I'm surviving.
I don't know what happened. I could like make up a story that I feel like I would do. I would go out of the room to get away from him. What happened after that? I don't know. I don't even remember leaving the room. Really.
She isn't remorseful or afraid of what she's done. Brittany tries to explain away her inconsistent story, blaming her blurred memory on being drunk that night.
See what I mean? You remember what I said, bro. Trying to blame it on the alcohol, bro. Like, no, that's not how that works, bro. You're going to jail.
But with no clear account of what really happened and too many gaps to ignore, detectives have no choice but to place her under arrest on suspicion of murder. At first, Brittany probably thought that saying less would help keep her out of trouble. But in reality, her silence only gave investigators more room to work with and more angles to uncover the truth she left behind. Since her version of events ended with a vague claim of self-defense, detectives had to widen their scope. They began reaching out to people close to the couple, hoping someone could shed light on what Brittany was hiding. As investigators started interviewing them one by one, a darker picture of Brittany Holbrook began to emerge, one that revealed she wasn't the person she made herself out to be. Almost everyone mentions Brittany's dangerous relationship with alcohol, how it often turned her aggressive and sometimes even violent toward Tyler.
Okay, see, here's the thing that I don't get, bro. If you know you got a bad habit, why don't you try to break it? Why are you drinking alcohol? Matter of fact, she said Brandon or whatever dude's name with the dogs out before, she said he brought alcohol there. Why are y'all enabling her and bringing more alcohol when you know she gets violent, bro? And why was a gun out when you know she gets violent? That should be in a safe box, a lock box. She shouldn't even be drinking at this point. I don't understand people when they do this, bro. It's like, you know you're nerfed. You know you're not good nerfed. You're not a good drunk, bro. Like, stop drinking. It's as simple as that, bro. Go ahead and get you a Sprite, a Pepsi, a Coke, bro. Like, a Mountain Dew. Whatever you gotta do to satiate that quenching of the thirst, bro. Me personally, I think water, bro. Go ahead and hydrate.
One story in particular stood out to the detective, an incident at a friend's birthday party where everyone saw the drunk side of Brittany.
I do know that they were having issues that week, about her drinking. We all thought, because her ex-boyfriend before Tyler, he drinks, so we thought that he brought out the worst in Brittany from drinking, but it was really just her drinking in general that brought out the worst in her. I mean, I don't know if that helps at all, or if that explains her a little bit better, or what the case is with that. But
could you tell me a little bit more about this when you came down in February and you all ended up with blood on your shirts?
That was a very strange situation.
That night, aside from the birthday celebration, Tyler's friends had organized a small get-together meant to reunite him with an old friend and former roommate who also happened to be Brittany's ex-boyfriend. The goal was simple, to help them put the past behind and finally move on. And for a while, everything seemed to be going according to plan, until Brittany walked in.
They walk in, when Brittany sees Jaffe, she had a blank look on her face. Tyler sees Jaffe, he's smiling, Jaffe's smiling, I was right there, they hugged each other, and it was kind of awesome that, that they were going to be friends again. You know what I mean? They could let this go past them.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't Brittany's plan. Brittany was hoping that there was going to be some sort of scuffle or drama involved in this situation.
Oh, hell no. And she one of those women too? Always like wanting drama and attention, bro? Yeah, nah. See, you gotta cut people like that out your life, bro. Or a person like that's gonna end your life, bro. It's sad, bro. It's really unfortunate, bro. Keep your peace, gentlemen. Keep your peace.
And she got mad at Tyler for not doing anything about Jaffe being there, and Tyler...
See, I would have broke up with her right then and there if I hadn't already. I wouldn't even be in this situation, because I would tell from her crazy eyes, bro. No, dude.
Obviously, it was like, what are you talking about? This was neutral, and I told you that we were coming down here, and it was all going to be all right. And I never saw this side of Brittany. After they heard what happened, they were all like, we kind of aren't surprised by this situation, because she was so nuts that night. But over at American Rock Bar, she was like scratching and slapping Tyler, and everybody felt very uncomfortable about the situation. Later on in the night, they're like, Phil, you have blood on your shirt. And then I guess Tyler had the blood on his shirt, and my other buddy Eric, they said had the blood on his shirt too. And then they were making a joke, and they were calling her a witch, like, oh, the witch, she put blood on your guys' shirt. We didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? I didn't, at least.
What do you mean you didn't think anything of it? You don't think anything of, like, blood being on people's shirt, bro? What y'all do over there, bro? Y'all niggas are weird.
But now we're kind of, you know, as we talk about it more, we're like, wow, you know, like that 100% could have been her doing that.
But for Tyler, the night was far from over.
She broke a bunch of stuff in the house. She wrecked the house, and she beat Tyler up pretty bad that night. There's quite a few stories about her attacking him, and she was an attacker. And clearly that night, you know, of the blood being, you know, in Tyler's bed and the broken beer bottle, and not only one broken beer bottle, that room was full of broken glass.
Okay, here's the problem, bro, right? You know the reason why she didn't get arrested, bro? Because she's a girl. They're scared of losing their masculinity because they're calling the cops on a girl. But like, bro, she's obviously an abuser, bro. She's throwing glass. It don't matter if she's a girl or not. She got a weapon. She got a weapon. You know what I mean? At that point, restrain her and, you know, take her to the authorities, bro. Female or not. Like, she should have been in jail. That doesn't make sense, bro. And he should have filed a restraining order on her ass. Like, dude, you can't like the poom poom that much, my boy. And like it or not, when it comes to this society, bro, women are treated as the dominant when it comes to law, bro. The law will always prioritize a woman over a man any day, bro. It's wicked out here, bro. But that's just how it is. It's ubiquitous that a woman will win a case over a man any time of the day, bro. For that man to win, you need hardcore evidence, bro. But for the woman, they'll believe her just off of tears, bro. And the dream of winning some poom poom and a bucket of AIDS, bro.
Everybody had to go clean it up. That's when everybody knew that there seriously was a problem going on.
This wasn't the first time Brittany had gotten drunk and turned violent toward Tyler. In fact, friends recalled multiple incidents, including one at a wedding where she lashed out at him in front of everyone.
Yeah, I've heard about this wedding. It's popped up a couple of times. What can you tell me about what went on there?
After, you know, the rehearsal dinner, everything was good. We had dinner. You know, they start drinking a little bit. She's really, like, belligerent. And we were all sitting by the pool having a good time. It was really, like, the first time I actually got to meet her and, like, you know, talk to her. And she was so drunk because her dad has, like, some hunting property and stuff up there. And I could have sworn she told me that, oh, my dad's selling the property. And my buddy, like, a week or two before, he was all excited to go hunting. My buddy meaning Tyler, sorry.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I misunderstood her. Anyways, I'm driving them home because I, you know, didn't drink at all. And we had to drive back to his house. And I was talking to him in the front seat. She's passed out in the back seat. And I said, oh, Tyler, that sucks. Her dad's selling the property. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, I was talking to her at the pool. She said her dad's selling the property. And he says, he reaches in the back seat and says, hey, babe, is your dad selling the property? And without hesitation, she throws a fucking left-hand hook and punches him in the face.
What the fuck? Dude, how do you, like, why are you staying with a person like that? You ask a simple question and see shorty you can your head off, bro? Like, come on, dude. Keep your peace, fellas. The pum pum is never that good, bro.
And she says, don't ever fucking talk about my dad. And she has no idea what we're talking about, you know? We're not talking bad about the dad. It was like, what the fuck? I got scared because I'm doing 55 mile an hour and she's throwing hooks. I thought she was going to punch me. Like, Jesus Christ.
But during the investigation, one name stood out. Marissa, the girlfriend of one of Tyler's close friends. She had seen a side of Brittany that went far beyond drunken outbursts. A side that hinted at something much more horrific.
So we were at Hogfish and she was talking about her ex-boyfriend. Which is a guy that I know. It was Chris Jaffe. She was talking about him and very aggressively and very angrily and talking about their relationship, how much she hated him, how you know, she like wanted to kill him and saying all this crazy stuff.
Stuff about Chris.
That's crazy, bro. She was talking about wanting to kill someone. Like, why do y'all hang around people like that, bro? Y'all do it to yourselves.
What kind of crazy things was she saying?
She said that that, you know, they would get in physical fights and that they would grab each other's eyeballs.
What? What the fuck? Come on, dude. Grab each other's eyeballs, bro? She should have been in jail, dude.
And she she showed me, like, with her thumb and her fingers on her face, like, the eyeball squeezing.
Ew.
She said that she told me she had stabbed him one time. And I was like, you stabbed him, or like you wanted to stab him? And she was like, oh no. She's like, and next time I'll stab him. She said that she would do it like, you know, she was doing the stabbing like with her arm. Well, this was at Hogfish Bar. She was doing like the jabbing, stabbing motion, and she was like, and I would go, you know, like in I would go all the way up, like to his neck, is what she said. I'm trying to think of the exact words, but she was gonna, you know, she's like, I'd go all the way up and like kill him. And I just remember thinking, you're being so psychotic and aggressive about this. You haven't even dated him in over a year.
Her account was later backed up by several of Tyler's friends, each confirming her fantasy of killing her ex-boyfriend.
What the fuck, dude? She is such a sick individual, bro.
I know that Marissa went to dinner a few nights before this happened, or out for drinks with Brittany. And that's where there was a conversation about her wanting to do weird, gruesome stuff to Chris Jaffe, her ex-boyfriend, which Marissa found disturbing and kind of called Tyler and asked them to come pick them up as she was uncomfortable.
It didn't take long for investigators to realize that what his friends described may have been exactly what happened that night. Only this time, it went too far. Around the same time, the autopsy results came in, confirming their worst suspicions. Tyler's body showed clear signs of prolonged physical abuse, multiple injuries to his head and neck.
Oh, brother. Yeah, this could have been avoided if Tyler just put on his big boy pants and stopped worrying about the damn pom-pom and left this crazy broad, bro. Like, dude, I swear it is not worth your peace, bro. There's plenty of poo-pom to go around, bro. I swear, bro, it's ubiquitous, bro. You can get it anywhere, bro.
Kind that pointed to a violent struggle, not self-defense. And the contrast was telling. Brittany had no defensive wounds, not even around her neck, just bruising on her knuckles, consistent with someone who had been throwing punches, not blocking them. To detectives, it was no longer a question of what happened. It was a matter of proving that Brittany Holbrook had finally done what everyone feared she was capable of. In the end, Brittany's charge was upgraded from suspicion of murder to second-degree murder with a firearm. She stood trial in February 2025, where it...
bro, she looked like, I don't know, bro, like Smeagol or something like that, bro. Yuck, dude.
Jury found her guilty, and she was sentenced to 40 years in state prison, including a...
Hold on, pause. That is a crazy next title. But anyway, bros, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there, bro. 40 years is crazy. She should have got in prison for longer. Honestly, bro. You know, cool 150. Bit of bone and ash decoration in the cell, bro. That was a really great video by the finest, bro. And I'm gonna go ahead and like this video. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out, dog.